I've learned so much more than just soft skills. I mean, I definitely have learned that. We've talked about, negotiating and communicating and all these great things, but I think it's more for me. Like, I think this is maybe the most selfish internship I've ever had, is because it's been focused on me and I've learned so much.
Valuable for sure for me was confidence, because confidence has spilt over into all the other ones. And once I've gained more confidence in myself, I have more confidence to try new things. So I think that also is fun, because now I'm willing to try new things and I believe in myself. So it's given me opportunities to branch out and do things that I wouldn't think I'd be able to do before.
Literally amazing how much I've grown. The first few weeks, I think it felt like a polar plunge. I was like not expecting everything that happened. I remember we did like a role play, Christoph and I totally like biffed it. It was so scary, and I was not prepared for what I learned. I mean, I learned so much about self-awareness. Man, like that has changed my life. Like I'm a happier person. I can make goals, and I feel like I feel capable of accomplishing them. And I feel like that's something I didn't realize before, was I was capable of doing all these things. Honestly, you just help me shift my mindset, saying, okay, like let's try this again, or let's look at this a different way. And there's very specific things that I think I'll take with me in my next semester of school and in my job. And
to start out, like the number one thing I learned was how to research and assemble research better with like the TAYGo system, because that's just a really convenient way. Instead of just doing like a 12-hour research session, it just splits it up over like a week or two, and it's just a lot easier to have information accessible and findable versus just a bunch of stuff that you just Googled and like read articles about. And so that was like the biggest thing that like I'll probably use that for years.
It was really great to come and learn different ways that we can improve ourselves regardless of where we go, from you and also from the audiobooks. But with that, the constant reinforcement that we got of those soft skills, like Charlotte said, with the awareness exercises and also the role plays and all the different things that we would do with you to build that experience in those soft skills.
I think the biggest change was that we talked a lot about goals, specific goals, because I had some kind of vague goals of I want to do this thing at some point, or I want to get a job after I graduate. But we really sat down and went through my priorities and what specific goals, how much of a salary do I want to get to live the lifestyle I want? What type of industry do we want to go in? And just really kind of hashed out some of the higher level goals while building out a lot of our what are your priorities? What do you value? What are these kind of strategic high level personal items?
I got to expand my network internationally, and I got to connect with past Koteve interns and talk to future Koteve interns, and it was really an interesting way to gain relationships with already established professionals and future professionals.
I think my favorite part of the internship was the awareness exercises each time, because they really gave me a chance to think about what I learned, and then we talked about it, and then sometimes the whole meeting was focused on what we talked about, and that really helped me as a person and as a professional. So it was great. I loved it so much.
I also liked that we would identify certain skills that we felt that I needed to improve. And for me, that was a lot of public speaking, confidence, and we would do different lessons and practices pertaining to those, so then I could make sure that I'm getting it and improving and becoming a better employee.
Something I've learned is a really great way to motivate me is by empowering me or helping me believe that I can. And so that's something you've definitely helped me feel, which has definitely spilled into other parts of my life.
I also like that the experiences that we worked on and the projects they were adapted to each of us and our skills and where we needed to improve as well. So then we could become better employees, but also gain that experience in the field that we are interested in.
In a way, the awareness exercise is basically, this is what I practice and this is what happened. And that's the best way to learn, is through practicing.
Once we started doing projects that before I hadn't really thought I would do, because I was just a kid in college, but they were like actual projects, things that real public relations professionals do. And then you'd tell me that I did a good job on them. It started to build my confidence and help me see that these are things that I can do well, even though I might only be 19. It doesn't really matter my age because my abilities are good, and you acknowledging that and myself acknowledging that really helped me build my confidence.
If you want to know what you want to do in like 5 to 10 years and you want to build a plan to get there, like the beginning of this internship for you. If you want like experience that is tailored towards whatever it is you're going into, and you want to work on projects that have impact and like have a progression that shows that you took on more responsibility and aren't just like, I got coffee every morning. Like this internship was awesome in that regard, because we started out really small and built up, and by the end we were dealing with whole projects that are going to be actively used by your company. And so it's got a lot of scaling to it, that if you want something that like adapts itself to your abilities, this is it.
So first, the mentorship. It was an internship, but it was a mentorship.
The projects that you gave me with the anger management course and the initial training that I went over with you, like that was really good practical experience for training and development on my side, because I really got to understand like not just how to write a course, but then also your feedback, because you're the one like giving the training, like what type of things you would like in the training, how to like adapt it to a trainer specifically. And it was just a lot of really good kind of concrete details on just the area of HR that we decided to emphasize on. And that was an amazing opportunity to completely build out a training with you. So that I really love that.
I was able to do this internship while I was taking classes and kind of working towards several different goals at the same time. It was awesome because there was this commitment of excellence around it, but there was still the flexibility and learning style to make mistakes but grow and ask questions, especially in areas that maybe weren't public relations, and expand that way.
Remote work and like the internationality of work is just going to increase, like, and so being comfortable with an international group of people and being able to communicate with them clearly is critical. Unless you're gonna, stay in your hometown and work at a small company, like it's something that is almost required for like college students like me nowadays. And then also just being able to confidently communicate like with you and with others in like a way that helps build those skills is something that was so worth it for this internship. So
at the end, I was able to publish my first research article on LinkedIn to kind of synthesize what I've learned throughout our internship and our time together. And that was really an incredible way to build a portfolio and have that kind of network.
I think splitting up the research like for a more long-term strategy is something that takes it from like a one-time project to almost just like a habit of just continually looking for things that enhance my professional self and also personal self, and just having that habit of looking for good material and articles that enrich my life. I think that's one of the biggest differences in kind of splitting it up versus all at once. And then also when you split it up, it helps you just retain more, because if you split it up and write it and review it, that's like 2 to 3 more times than just like assembling it all at once. And so you just retain a lot more information and learn more effectively versus to do it all at once option.
So I'm really excited that Koteve is coming to the US. I think this is going to be a very beneficial thing for a lot of people, and I can't wait to see the network grow and to continue to be a part of this. So thank you.